the other direction. This 3D sketch up here using that edge. Hit OK. And we can fill in these boundary surfaces as well. All right, now we're gonna do a 3D sketch to draw this point here. Right there on that curve, so that we can make our connecting curve. Fusing from the top onto the bottom plane. That spline to those 2 points. Then we'll have from that 3D point on the side, have this line going across. Which will make that curve. And we're gonna draw, we're gonna create plane 3, offset from the front plane, or sorry, perpendicular, and then coincident to, if we go to sketch 6, our construction line we drew, so it's right in the middle of the wheel. So then add our surface boundary, connecting out to the wheel. And we'll have another one with these edges. And we have on that plane 3, we sketched this line. So that when we look, we have this region here, top to bottom and left to right. And these are just projected 3D sketches from these edges. I covered in my other videos how to do the surface boundaries. You basically just, it's basically just a surface feature. Pretty simple. And we'll knit those surfaces all together. Get rid of any gaps. Now we are going to add a varying fillet on this edge here where these 2 boundaries meet. We're going to go from 0 to 20 or so millimeters. Oops. go. We can go 30 if we want, 20, doesn't matter. Hit OK. And we're going to add this plane here. Through these vertices on the wheel. Now we're going to start adding this boundary surface. Using these sketches here. So on the bottom we have this sketch. From up here to out here. On that bottom plane. And then we got sketch on the middle plane down to the bottom where this edge is. Top to bottom, left to right, surface, we got our 4 edges set. Now we're going to trim out using this sketch on the front side. Following this curvature. And we'll trim through that surface. Let's go a little bit bigger on this. Now we're going to extrude that surface we just created. Have our 3D sketch projected here of these edges. And we'll extrude that. Along this plane here. that direction. Now we'll go ahead and create a surface plane. Using our sketch 43. Now we'll do a surface sweep. Using this sketch as a profile, following this line on the blueprint. And this curve here up to about there. Following that surface plane. We'll just extend that skirt out some. Now we can start adding some of the sheet metal as part of the grill contours. Using, if we go on the front side, we can start sketching out these lines here. Just two basic lines. And we'll extrude it out. With those two lines. And we'll trim it back some using our sketch 43 from before. Those extrudes. Another trim using sketch 48. about 600 mil from the center. And trim through our sweep and surface plane, just basically get rid of that. All right, so continuing our work on the front, we are going to create these reference curves on these two edges here from those vertices, and we will create a new surface for that front right there using those 4 edges. Now we're going to do a new surface trim using sketch 49. So if you look on the bottom, we are going to have this spline here. And then we will do a surface trim, cutting back through some of these extrusions. Now we're going to do a surface loft. Selecting these 2 edges. So profile 1 and 2. Connect those. Now we're gonna start on the bottom of the inlet grill using a 3D sketch here. Projected from that edge. And we will extrude it out. Towards the center, front plane. To get this line here. Now we're going to do another surface extrude. This time it's going to be a spline. Extrude it out again towards the front plane. We'll add some trims using Sketch 49 again from before. Through those. Now we are going to add these curves from these vertices here, these 2 points and these 2 points. And we're just going to fill these gaps in with the surface fill using these edges. Same thing up top here. Thread it all together. With the surface knit. I'm going to add a slight fillet on this edge here. Make it smoother. Now we're going to continue with our curves on the side. So we're going to have a couple new sketches. One on the top. Projected on the bottom plane, and another on the side. Following this line here. I'll create that curve. Same thing with this curve here. Onto the bottom here. And on the side. Like so. And we'll surface it. Now you can see how we're going to start merging into the door. So we've got these couple of curves here. Projected on the bottom. And projected on the side following this curve here. And it ends back here. Our first curve, and then we can reference points for this curve. add another surface. You know the drill. Let's go down to our next set of curves. So we're creating these panels here. Now we're going to keep working on this door. You can see the edges here. So we got this curve here on the side, following this edge here, and then on the top, project it down to the bottom. We got this spline following the door. We got this curve down at the bottom. This sketch at the top of the door onto the bottom plane, and then the top line of this door on the side. So we got those two, and then from those curves we'll select the endpoints to make that final curve for that reference curve. And we should be creating this right here. Looks good. Diving into our next set, we'll have curve 36. Using on the side, we'll have this spline here, and then on the top, down towards the bottom. I have this line here, towards the bottom. We'll draw a vertex or point right here on this door, and then we'll have our last curve. Using this sketch here. And then on the side, I have this sketch here towards that point we just placed. Create the surface. So we're working our way down the door. I'll select the plane. Using this edge and perpendicular to the front. Hit OK.